Happy Sunday, everybody. It is Self Care Sunday, and I am here today. I am Crystal Trinette, and I'm here today with my good friend, pal, girlfriend from
Yes.
Holy Name School. We
Yeah,
went to
elementary
elementary school
girl. Oh
together.
my
So
God.
she is giving me her time today, her precious, precious time today to talk about our favorite topic, self care. We got a few questions we're going to run through, and hopefully, this session will be of benefit to somebody out here watching today. So, T, let's start off by you just telling us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Tashia Hughes. Like Crystal said, we've been friends forever. Um, and you know what? I have so many funny stories, but that's going to be another clip. I promise you, it's
Yes.
going to come. Maybe not right at this moment,
Right, right.
but no, my girl, she's doing well, and I'm
Thank
just
you.
totally honored for her to even want to interview me.
Absolutely.
So, well, anything I can do to contribute to her success, because this is my girl right here.
Thank you so much. And,
Yes,
how awesome is that to just have people in your life that you can pour into one another, support one another, encourage one
hmm
another. And your success is my success. My success is your
absolutely,
success. And so that's
absolutely,
the way I look at it. We are women, we're working together. You got to encourage and support one another in all that we do. So thank you so much. I
absolutely,
appreciate that. So
absolutely.
we're going to get going. We're going to talk about our favorite topic. We're going to talk about self-care and what that means to us today in this era of our lives. We're over, should I say? We're over 50 now. But we look good.
We do.
Yes,
I
we
must
do.
say, because
So
her
be
hair
not
looked
afraid.
good. My hair, I had to wear hats. So,
Listen, you got to make it do what it do,
and
right?
because my girl keep me tight, but I ain't want to embarrass her and not have my hat on, because it's a
That's
representation of her work,
okay, because the
and I
hat
can't
is
do
speaking
that. Okay,
volumes and
okay, it's doing
volumes. It's
something.
doing it. It's
Yes,
doing it.
okay, okay.
So we're gonna get
But
started.
this is how we always act. So I'm
Yes.
just letting you know, get used to it.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about self-care. So T, my first question today for you is what does self-care mean to you?
Well, what it means to me, I look at it from a mental
Mm-hmm.
and a physical angle.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, well, physically, I want to say it's more like the fitness, the working out, yoga,
Mm-hmm.
that type of thing. As
Okay.
far as the mental aspect, I want to say it's more so dealing with counseling, meditation,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, prayer,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you know, things of that
And
nature.
let's talk about the counseling.
Okay.
Um, that is an important aspect of self-care that I think that we don't really address, right? We talk about taking bubble baths, going to the spa, getting pedicures, getting manicures, getting massages, but all of that kind of fixes the superficial part, you know. But sometimes we need that deeper dive, right? We need to
hmm
understand like what has happened in my life to make me the way that I am, make me think the way that I think, do the things that I do. And so sometimes in our community, T, like we know, having a therapist or going for psychotherapy treatment can be shunned upon, right? We don't
hmm
always think that that's a pretty thing. We look at it as something is wrong with us,
hmm
rather than using it as a tool to help us give deep down, to dig deep down about to get to those things that are really deeply troubling or bothering us. Excuse me. So tell me something. How has your therapy sessions, how has that helped you?
Tremendously. Well, the first thing is you have to go in with a mindset. You have
Mm-hmm.
to be open about it,
Mm-hmm.
because, like you said, just to bounce off of that, when you have like the generations of above you, your
Mm-hmm.
mother, your
Mm-hmm.
your um, these are things that things were so like secretive and
Yeah.
hidden, and you
Yeah.
don't want to have your business out,
Yeah.
and
What
and
stays, what happens in here stays
oh
in
my
here.
goodness,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So and it's a thing where, and see, what's funny too is that they didn't even have social media back then, so
Right.
they probably be having
Right.
connection fits right about
Right.
now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But but the thing is, for me, I had to, I guess break that barrier,
Mm-hmm.
or because honestly, you have to be transparent about what's going on with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And in order to do that, you have to be open-minded. You have to
Mm-hmm.
change your mindset. And going to a counselor is like, for me, or psychologists,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to get technical,
Right.
um, or going to a psychotherapy session,
Right.
I think it's just a rewarding, fulfilling experience in a way, because I'm able to be transparent.
Mm-hmm.
I can just, it's a one-on-one thing. It's more
Right.
like you're telling someone what's going on with you,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they're giving you recommendations in return to say, okay, well, this is what you can do to help this situation,
Right. Right. So it's
and
providing for you a safe space to be honest, to be open.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, it's a lot, but the key is, though, you have to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
The transparency point is very important, because if you do not be transparent,
Mm-hmm.
then your end result is not going to be a positive one. Well, to
Exactly.
me, because I've experienced it, I could say that from experience,
Mm-hmm.
because I initially, when I started counseling,
Mm-hmm.
when I started to go to counseling, it was like, okay, well, I'm only going to tell them this. I'm only going to tell. I was
Right.
being very
Right.
specific, very
Right.
selective, because I
Right.
still was like, I got an image.
Mm-hmm.
But as time went on, and the things I've been through in my life, it kind of broke me down to the point where, oh no, this is not working. Because
Yeah.
the information that you give
Mm-hmm.
is based, I mean, the recommendations that they give is the information that you're giving them.
Right.
So if you're not getting enough information to them, they're not giving you truly what you need to help yourself.
Exactly. And so that's where the true change and transformation comes from,
Mm-hmm.
is just being able to be transparent, being honest, and just being open about a lot of things that we hold near and dear and feel like sometimes it's shame.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want
Mm-hmm.
to admit things because you're ashamed of them, or
Mm-hmm.
you're afraid of them, or the perception
Mm-hmm.
that people will have about you. So I commend you for doing that,
Well,
for
thank
going to
you. Thank
therapy.
you.
And anyone else out there that's watching today, I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you. If you've been afraid to share things with a therapist, if you've been afraid to that sometimes your family secrets, or sometimes just things in your life that you just have kept to yourself for many years, and you keep it bottled up, and what does it do? It's just kind of like eating inside of you, and you just cannot be your true self. You cannot live your life fully because of these things. I encourage you to see a therapist, a professional therapist,
Mm-hmm.
like Miss Tashia has done. So I'm really proud of you. That is really
Thank
awesome.
you.
That is
Thank you.
great.
Thank you.
And
Thank
hopefully
you.
an encouragement to somebody out there to take that step, take that leap, if that's what you need to do. So we are continuing, and we're going to go ahead on to question number 2. Okay, T. So how do you set boundaries that are conducive to allowing you to take care of you?
Hmm. That was a challenging question.
Okay.
Reason being, I always put others before me.
Yeah.
And as a woman, uh, a wife, a mother,
Hmm.
that was a little hard for me.
Right. Right.
But what I had to do was, again, change my mindset
Hmm.
to acknowledge me,
Right.
you
Right.
know, to say, I need to take care of me first.
Hmm.
I need to do that in order for me to be good for other people.
Exactly.
Because I mean, just like you can you can pass a negative vibe if you don't do that. If you're in a bad mood, and you can just pass that vibe to the people you care about, and you don't
Right.
mean to do it.
Right.
You take it out on them. Don't try to do it. And this, I'm just like, my family. I don't mean to, but 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 no. And if you have a positive vibe, you can pass that out to your loved ones
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So I think, to acknowledge myself first, and to make sure I'm good
Hmm.
in order for me to deal with things beyond me.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now shifting priorities. That's a little hard because again, I had to put me first.
Right.
So at this point in my life, I've decided to make me a primary, and anything outside of that is secondary. Now,
Absolutely.
it could be a secondary part. I mean, A, B,
Mhm.
C, D,
Okay.
but not to
Okay.
say, that wasn't important. But, again, I have to go back to, if I'm not right, I can't help other people. I can't
Exactly.
be that
Exactly.
what is needed of me at that particular time.
Exactly. Like the saying goes, I cannot pour from an empty cup. I have to take time. You have to take time to kind of fill your cup,
Absolutely.
right? To clear your mind,
Absolutely.
to set your goals, to talk, to think
Mhm.
about the things that you need to think about in order for you to help other people. Sometimes we can just self-exhaust ourselves when we are so exhausted mentally, emotionally, and it can be so draining that you can't even think straight.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. It's neglecting yourself
Yeah.
too, in a way. That's why I say acknowledge myself was very key. And it took a lot for me to get to this point.
Yeah, yeah.
It didn't happen overnight. Because,
It's a process.
like I said, like my mom, my grandmother or whatever, I mean, family members, above me, this is what that was set. This was the tone that was set, and this is what I followed. So, so it really had to be like a thing where I had to undo and then redo.
Exactly. And that is a key. That is a good point. We are so used to kind of mimicking what we know, what we've learned, what we've been taught, and we have to unlearn some things.
Yep.
That we don't have to do it that same way just because it was done that way when we were children, right? Just because my mother had like some definitive rules and things that we had to like live by, right? I remember being spoken over at church one time about the whole thing of like only talking when you're spoken to, or be seen and not heard. Be seen and not heard. And I think that's like everywhere in our culture. Be seen and not heard. And so that kind of like teaches you to just be quiet. And then you kind of like you learn to just not speak up, not to share your thoughts, not to express your feelings. So that's a thing that I had to unlearn. That it's okay for me to speak up. It's okay for me to speak my mind. It's okay for me to express how I really feel. I don't have to keep that in. And you want to be able to learn how to do those things respectfully, but I don't have to keep things in and bottled up.
I mean, because I think by doing so will hinder your self-esteem.
Yeah, definitely.
So it takes a lot. It's just a lot.
Definitely. It's a process. And I think that in unlearning some things, we're able to kind of teach the generations to come to unlearn. We don't have to repeat that cycle over and over again. So very nice. Very good. Very good. Okay, T. So we're going to roll it on and go to question number 3. When was the last time you did something for you, and what did you do?
Okay. This was.
I'm almost afraid of that.
Well, I mean, no, this is GPG rated, so we're gonna leave that low. We're gonna leave that low. But no, seriously. Well, I was in a situation where I was hospitalized 3 times within 1 year. So, and then I was just, I guess it was a buildup of me just getting really sick and having all these issues going on, and then that happened right after COVID. So I have to kind of dig back a little bit and say prior to all of that, what I used to do is like, because we have that Friday from work, because we do that alternate work schedule, where we can have every other Friday or Monday. So I chose Friday. And I would just go to the movies or shopping, and then have a fancy meal by myself.
Okay, I love it. I love it. That's you speaking my
you
language.
And if it was a glass of wine that was warranted that time, it will be a glass of wine.
Right.
Or if it was
Right.
some lemonade that day, it could be lemonade.
Right.
But the point is, it was just my me time.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that
Mhm.
because it allowed me to have space,
Mhm.
free my mind, meditate a little bit.
Mhm.
I mean, even though there was things going on around me,
Mhm.
I didn't pay any mind to that.
Right.
It was
Right.
more of a thing where this is about me that day.
Mhm.
And that was like once every 2 weeks. So I am building myself back up to that
Back to
point
that. Okay.
because, I'm getting better. I'm feeling better. I've
Mhm.
been through a lot with my
Mhm.
health, these complex health issues.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I'm definitely building myself up. And plus, it's getting nicer outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
But let me say this, sis. I'm so glad that you are feeling better
Well, thank you.
because you're definitely looking good.
Well, thank you.
You're
I'm
definitely
trying to
looking
keep
good.
up with you,
Yeah.
girl. Because you know how we do. You know
Okay.
how we do. I'm just saying, I got to keep it one.
But on a serious note, I am so happy and glad that you are health wise approaching in a place that sometimes we have to go through some things. I went through some health issues too. And so, but to be able to sit here and talk about it, and you've progressed from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're still progressing, you're still walking through this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, for that, we definitely, first and foremost, have to give God the glory for that and thank
Absolutely.
Him for just
Absolutely.
restoring your health,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
restoring you in places that are not only for your physical health, but for your emotional and your mental well-being.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so we thank you. We thank God for that. And anyone else that's looking at this video today, you mentioned some key things about setting boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
putting yourself first. That is okay. Sometimes we feel like we shouldn't do that, but that
Mm-hmm.
is definitely okay. And it gives you a place and a space to rejuvenate, to
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
restart, um,
Absolutely.
and to just put yourself in that mindset that it is okay for me to take care of me. It's okay for me to go and sit and have a glass of wine or whatever, to have a good meal, to go
Mm-hmm.
shopping, to buy
Mm-hmm.
myself something for myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like we said before, you cannot pour from an empty cup, right? So you have to
Correct.
find some type of way to refill yourself, to where you need and you can be conducive to help other people and to be there for your family. I find that I'm the best for my family and for others when I have definitely addressed myself.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in a place of mayhem,
Yeah, that's not a good time.
maybe a spiritual mayhem, emotional
Yeah,
mayhem, physical
yeah.
mayhem,
You need your
I'm
space.
not
You
good
need a
for
little bit of
anyone else.
space.
Yes.
Yep.
So I need to kind of like get myself together so that when I am at work, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good to deal with whatever I need to deal with. When I'm with my family, I'm good to deal with whatever I need to deal with there. But it all starts with who? With me.
With yourself.
So thank you, thank you, thank you for
But
that.
I have to say
Mm-hmm.
this that during the times when I was in the hospital, um, I reflect on a lot of your inspirational
Oh my
sayings.
goodness.
So, girl, don't cry.
We can't handle
Oh my
ugly
God! Wait a
cries in
minute. Hold on.
here.
Hold on. Hold on.
We can't
Hold on.
handle
Hold on.
ugly cries.
Hold on. Hold on. Okay.
But even in saying that, I'm sorry, but you know what, we do that and say don't, I can't handle ugly cry, but that's a
Girl,
transparent moment too,
girl,
right?
it
Like
is. Wait a minute.
let
Hold
it
on.
be what
Hold
it
on.
be.
Girl, that's why I got the shades on. Girl, you got to get here.
Okay,
But,
okay,
but okay. But so anyway, in your journal,
okay. Hmm.
having your journal was an absolute, just like a breath of fresh air because I was
Hmm.
able to write out my issues. Okay.
Yep.
I was able
Yep.
to meditate,
Hmm.
just whatever I was feeling that day, I just
Hmm.
could write it out.
Hmm.
So if you have not subscribed to this lady here, you're crazy. Number one, her journals are phenomenal. Her positive affirmations, uh, she's great. So I just want to tell her I'm proud of her too.
Thank you.
All
You
right.
see, I'm pausing. You see,
Girl, wait a minute, hold on, hold on.
oh my God.
Okay,
See,
okay,
this is what
okay.
it's all about, right? This
It
is
is, it
what it's all
is,
about.
it is.
You never know how sometimes the smallest thing that you do or say or act the way you act can affect another person.
Absolutely.
And hopefully it's positively, not negatively. And so we all have been through a lot in our lives.
Correct.
And I think that I've just kind of reached a point in my life where, yeah, I want to be a positive force for someone else. I want to be a positive example for other people. Do I have all my stuff 100 A1? Nope, I sure don't. But I am a work in progress.
Yes.
So I want to let other people know that, yes, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to have all the answers. You are a work in progress. I am a work in progress. But I hope that in that work in progress, in each step that I take every day, that I can do something to encourage you, something to say, hey, I'm a mess today, but I'm gonna still keep going. Hey, I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the money to pay. I don't have all of this. I don't have it all together all the time. And I think people have that misconception, T, that they look at you on the outside and say that you got it all together. And so I'm going to talk about this on another session about being that strong Black woman, being that strong woman. Like, I'm not always that person. I'm not. And so, and I don't think that sometimes the people closest you can accept that you're not. They want you to be that. And so, I want to talk about that on another session because that's a whole nother conversation.
And you know what? I'm down for it.
Yes, absolutely.
We got to get a group of ladies, if it's just me or whatever.
Absolutely,
Anybody,
absolutely. Because we're more alike than we're different.
Yes, we
and
are.
Sometimes we feel insecure. Sometimes we feel out of place. And we feel like our issues are so huge and big that nobody else is experiencing those issues, but they are. We are more alike than we are different. And so it's all about coming together and sharing those life experiences, sharing those hard times, sharing those hills that we had to go up and say, you know what, girl, I was going through the same thing. I didn't even think that somebody else was going through that too. I didn't think that same issue would affect someone else too. And coming out of that cycle of shame, of embarrassment, of I'm not good enough, or I didn't take the right path. I didn't finish college when I was 20, in the 4 years that I should have. I had to go back. It's okay. I had a child at 19, 20 years old. It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Yes.
But it's what you do with it.
Yes.
It's what you do with those things. What are you doing with it? That's my question. What are you doing with those things?
That is true.
How are you using that to help someone else? Are you using that to encourage someone else? That's what I want to do. Encourage. So I thank you. I thank you. Listen.
Girl, this feel like a Barbara Walters. When we finish, when we cut, I'm gonna have to go get some tissue because, girl, I'm holding back. I'm like, okay,
it's good when you can talk about serious things,
yes,
and real life things, and still have fun,
yes,
and still find the peace in it, find the joy in it,
yes,
and find the connection in it. That, like, girl, we done been through some things,
yes,
but this is where we at. This is where we at, and I'm just proud of both of us.
Girl, me too.
Come a long way from Neil Street.
Oh my God. I mean, we got stories. Some things I can't tell you.
Yes.
Because I don't know if the police. No, I'm just kidding. In my past, I don't know who watched it. I just know.
Well, we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap up. We are here, and I don't think I said it in the beginning, but we are at this nice suite. It's a content creation suite called the Creative Hang Suite. It's located in Crofton, Maryland. And I just want to give a plug out to Tiffany, Miss Tiffany. Your suite is beautiful. I'm going to post some pictures of it. It's a space that's really conducive to what I'm doing here. So I know it's conducive to what other people are doing. So shout out to Tiffany at the Creative Hang Suite.
As a matter of fact, I was going to send her a text. Oh, I'll wait.
Okay.
Because, this thing's nice.
Yes.
I just want to say, when I
sharing
walk
the love,
in,
Tiffany. She's
I'm
sharing
like this.
the love.
I want to send you a text to say how nice your suite is, because I think I want to, also do some type
beautiful.
Of work here
it's
too.
It's really nice here.
So,
I'm
very
definitely
relaxing.
Going to be back. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you to everybody that is watching this video. I hope and pray that you got something out of it, that you got some tips, that you can some nuggets. The whole message is not always for everybody, right? But whatever nugget that you were able to glean from this, from T's answers to her question, to sharing her self-care journey with her psychotherapist, and all of the things that she does in her personal life to practice self-care and to make herself a better person. Number one, for her. I
Mhm.
hope that you got something out of it today. Thank you, T, for taking the time. Thank you
Girl,
for
you
being
know I
here.
love you.
Thank you so much.
You have
Thank you, thank
always
you,
been
thank
so
you.
good
I
in my
feel so
life. And speaking of nuggets, we're gonna have to end this. After I clean myself up, because
Mhm.
that's how we do, and because we represent what we represent.
Yes, we do.
But we're gonna get a bite to eat.
Yes, we
She
are.
did say nuggets.
We
So
are going to go to the Cheesecake Factory and have us a self-care
yes,
Sunday.
yes.
And we're going to have a good time. So I thank you. I thank you. I thank you as always. I'm Crystal Trinette for tuning in. I hope you had a great self-care Sunday and you did something for you to replenish your soul, replenish your mind, your physical body, your spirit, um, to take on this week, this upcoming week. I'm getting tongue tied now, so I need to get ready to wrap it on up. But thank you.
So no
I
drink for you
appreciate
later, dear.
no, just a little
No
one,
drink.
just a
No,
little
what, you
one,
tongue
just
tied?
just
I
a
don't know
little
what's
one.
gonna happen. Okay, I'll drive.
Thank you. We appreciate you,
All
and
right.
until the
Take
next time,
care.
bye bye.
Bye bye.